Hey, Dirk, we've got a minute. Do you want to do an off script? Do you want to save it? Right. Well, I was going to ask you about Halloween coming up next week.
Oh, awesome.
But I couldn't think of a suitably scary question, so instead I'm going to ask you a question about a topic that should be scary enough for anyone, politics.
Oh, geez.
Right there.
Oh, man.
We have the whole minute.
Good.
So the election's coming up in 10 days.
Oh, right.
Okay, about 10 days. So do you think, I mean, really what's going to change here most likely, along with some gubernatorial races, is probably the House of Representatives.
Okay.
So do you think that, for instance, a change in that, Democrats controlling the House, is going to change the way that maybe the government treats things like trade policy, which is going to affect U.S. manufacturing? I mean, certainly the tariffs that have been put in place have, I think in net so far, seems to have maybe helped some U.S. manufacturers a little bit. Maybe, we don't know long term, but if the House flips to the Democrats, it's going to be a lot harder for the administration to get stuff like that done. Is that going to be a good thing, or is that going to be a bad thing long term, do you think, for industry?
I don't know, and this is, I mean, I'm not a person who follows politics really close like you do, but my sense is that almost anything that happens, which is wide ranging, you know, whether it's the president's tax cuts, whether it's tariffs, I don't think you really know the impact of those for a dozen years, 10 years, 8 years, right? I don't think you know it, because these things take a while to have. We've got a huge economy, so what do tariffs have short-term effects, but they also have long-term effects. Tax cuts have short-term effects. Yeah. I'm going to pay fewer taxes this year. I'm going, well, that's kind of awesome. Yeah. But what's the effect of that? Yeah. If I'm paying fewer taxes, if you're paying fewer taxes, that's less money going into taxes. Well, what effect does that have on infrastructure and so forth? So to tell the truth, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, the tax thing on the supply side, they always talk about supply side economics. On the supply side, it takes a long time, many times, for that to work its way through. So yeah, it could be several years. It could be even when Trump's not in office anymore, maybe, where we see the effects of that. I mean, for me, I tend to agree with you. I think that if the Democrats were to take over the House of Representatives, I think you will see a big change in some of these policies. I think that's why you're seeing the administration really trying to push through a lot of things quickly if they can, because it is going to change. I think there's going to be a lot more oversight, and I'm not going to editorialize or whether that's good or bad, but there's going to be changes, I think, if the Democrats were to take over the House. So I don't know. It's really, I mean, they're favored to, but who knows? I mean, when Election Day comes, the polls go out the window, so we'll see what happens when we actually vote. Yeah.
All I want to see is that somehow or another, we all just get
along. Well, that's probably not going to happen, Dirk. Sorry.
Not in my lifetime. All right, okay.